If you know me, then you know that I am a pretty frugal person generally, and I love to find creative ways to reuse or repurpose things so that I don't have to spend any money on a commercial product. So yesterday I was at the thrift store and I came across this mug. And I've been thinking about this for a while, but I didn't know, I didn't really have anything but glass to reuse, and I didn't know that I wanted to use glass on my wood stove. So I picked up this mug for $1. And as you can see, it's an enamelware type mug and it's got some chips on the side. And that would, for me, prevent me from using it on, like for drinking, for anything food. And so what I decided to do was to make a candle with this using some tallow, especially one particular kind of tallow, to make a longer burning emergency type candle. I don't use candles very often. I don't burn them very often. I would rather use a diffuser if I wanted some type of scent in the house. But in this case, what I'm doing is I am using up some tallow that to me has aged a little bit past what I would like to use in cooking. And then also some deer tallow, which I rendered but have never been particularly fond of. So I wanted to find something I could use it for. And of course, there are lots of different uses for tallow, treating, like treating wood and different things like that. Handles for equipment and like outside tools and that sort of thing. Or whipping it and making some type of lotion or balm or something like that. But in this case, I wasn't comfortable doing that with the deer tallow. And so this is a perfect use of the deer tallow and some of the beef tallow that I want to get rid of. So I'm just not get rid of, but to use. So I'm just going to show you how I'm doing it, and it's so simple to do. So what I did was I took my my mug that I got for $1, and I filled it with some tallow from the two that are on the right hand side. And those are one beef tallow and one deer tallow. The pint is the deer tallow because it doesn't make as much. So I filled it and let that begin to melt down just from the residual heat from it sitting on the stove. And then when it is completely melted, I'm going to just give it a stir to make sure that the two tallows are incorporated together. And I'll just use a little, like a stick, a twig or something like that. Nothing, no food utensils, just that. So I won't have to clean it up. I can just throw it into the fire. And then I'm going to put a small candle, a taper candle, inside the tallow as it cools. You just shove it down inside, and that will act as the wick for this candle. And then if I want to put any essential oils in it, I can do that as the wax is cooling. You never want to do that when it's on the stove or when it's as hot as you're going to get it. You want to wait until it begins to cool before you incorporate the oils. And then that way they don't evaporate with the heat. So very simple to do, very easy way to use some tallow that would otherwise maybe be wasted. I can also, use the tallow for feeding the birds, adding some bird seed to that, or even some chicken feed, and feeding it to the chickens. You can do that as well. And then you see I've got some other candle holders laying there, and they just had some scrap wax that had melted, dripped down and melted onto the base. And so I've got them facing the fire, so the wax that was on them will melt off and go onto that paper, and then I can just use that paper for lighting a fire at some point in the future when I need to start a fire in my stove. So there you go. Very simple, very easy, and just one more way to cut your expenses and have something really cute for the holidays. Right, talk to you soon.